Canceling my Disney Plus has been quite difficult. I've been trying for days, and every time I go to try again the next day, I hit cancel your subscription and the page just keeps reloading. It keeps reloading. They are preventing me. That's what I'm starting to believe. They are trying to prevent me and others from actually canceling, because I have been trying to cancel this for days now.
It's time for our daily dose of cope. And there is so much going on right now. Me and this leopard, we're sitting up here eating some snacks, just watching the fireworks. He's eating face flavored popcorn. I'm just eating some buttery popcorn. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these stories. As I was collecting all of my screenshots for this video, this breaking news happened. Jimmy Kimmel is returning to ABC on Tuesday, Disney said. I was going through collecting all of these videos over on the TikTok because there have been several Disney stars that are saying boycott us because of what is going on. There are Howard Stern talking about boycott Disney, and all of these other creators that were talking about all of the billions of dollars that Disney stands to lose, because all weekend over the last few days, people have been canceling their subscriptions, canceling their trips, canceling a wedding. It has been crazy. And so Disney is in between a rock and a hard place. So they decided to let Kimmel come back. All right, let's look at this. It says, after ABC's decision last week to pull Jimmy Kimmel off the air indefinitely, he's coming back. On Monday, which is right now, this just happened. On Monday, Disney, which owns ABC, said the Jimmy Kimmel Live host would return and the show would resume on Tuesday. Last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive, the Walt Disney Company said in a statement. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. It's reported that Disney has lost nearly $4 billion in 3 days from combined stock price collapse and canceled subscription. And this person puts hashtag GoFash, lose cash, as in fascism. And the thing is, once people decide to cancel this stuff, it's going to be hard to make some people come back. Some folks will come back, but this is going to be challenging to overcome, and it's going to be very tenuous. So many people came to the defense of Jimmy Kimmel and free speech in general. Shock jock Howard Stern did. I even saw Tucker Carlson come forward and speak on freedom of speech. But this one was interesting. Let's look at this. Howard Stern has broken his silence following ABC's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel Live following comments that host Jimmy Kimmel made in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death. As you know, ABC threw Jimmy Kimmel off the air. I don't know what their plan is, but it looks like they might be firing him. He said that on Monday. So that was before this breaking news. But when Jimmy Kimmel was sitting up there speaking with Disney, he had to take into consideration his 200 plus staff that works behind the scenes to get people on the air. To get him on the air. So yes, Jimmy Kimmel would be fine being off the air, but he needed to make sure that those people were taken care of as well. So that's probably the reason why he came back, because Ben Meiselas of the Midas Touch Network actually invited Jimmy Kimmel to just be a host on YouTube, but Jimmy Kimmel is thinking about other people, I'm sure. If you're interested in some of the videos that I had collected before this breaking news, I'll put it at the end of this video. Let's get into some more face eating. This is interesting to me. U.S. Congressman Don Bacon, who is not running for re-election and is a representative out of Nebraska, is talking, and he's speaking up about free speech and Trump's policies. This is really interesting, but we have seen all of the Nebraska is going broke, Nebraska is going bankrupt, but these lawmakers voted for the policies that are driving their own states into the ground. And then these people are jumping ship. It's wild to me. They deserve their faces eaten. Representative Don Bacon criticized on Sunday Trump's threats to media outlets and a number of other policies, saying his actions threaten fundamental American values. We have to protect freedom of speech and press, Bacon said in an interview with CNN's Manu Raju aired Sunday morning. discussing the ABC decision to suspend late-night host Jimmy Kimmel's show amid controversy over remarks about right-wing activist Charlie Kirk's killing. Bacon said he does not think Kimmel was fired because of the FCC chair, but it was a dumb mistake. Yeah, right. This was all because of the FCC chair and the way they are trying to hold it over their head that they're trying to do this merger. That is an absolute lie. Don Bacon is lying. The Nebraska Republican has been elected to Congress 5 times, most recently in 2024, and has announced he will not seek re-election in 2026. In his remarks Sunday, he also drew a sharp distinction between President Ronald Reagan's commitment to strong alliances and what he sees as Trump's deviation. He noted that Reagan was a big believer of NATO and strong alliance, adding that he supported standing up to Russia, which was Soviet Union at the time. Trump is totally different, he added. Bacon went on to say that the president's tariffs are hurting his constituents. When will these people in Congress, these MAGA people in Congress, grow a spine and actually say Congress has the power of the purse and snatch this power away from Donald Trump? They won't, because they have completely capitulated to Donald Trump. They are weak. They are some cowards. We just heard yesterday that we have a company that makes combines. They're moving all of their manufacturing that makes combines for Canada to Europe because the tariffs going from the US to Canada are too high. They can't compete. That's hundreds of jobs right there. Iowa and Nebraska are really struggling right now with our farm economy. We're not growing farm economy. We're not growing markets for corn and soybeans. The president's making trade deals, but not a single country that I can see has bought more corn or soybeans. And that's what we really need right now. I do want to remind us all that Joni Ernst is from Iowa, and she's one of the people that voted for the One Big Beautiful bill, saying that everybody's going to die anyway. These people did not give a good goddamn about their constituents when they're sitting up here voting for all of these things that harm their constituents. And now they're sitting up here doing all this hand wringing and they're jumping ship and not running for re-election because they see all of the damage that they've caused, but they've made tons of money already being a lawmaker. So they're going to take all that money and just run away because they can. Their constituents are going to fail and flail, but their constituents voted red straight down. They knew what they were getting into. They knew that they were voting for tariffs. They knew what they were voting for, bloody mass deportations. So these people have earned what's coming to them. When asked if Trump exhibits the kind of moral character you want to see in the leader of this country, Bacon said, "Well, I'd rather focus on the moral clarity with Ukraine." When the host pressed him on whether Trump has the character a president should have, the Nebraska Republican said, "I think I'll skirt around it because he's a coward." That's not written. I just said that. Yesterday, I talked about this $100,000 fee, but we talked about it in terms of the tech companies. I didn't even think about the fact that we have international doctors coming here as well. And many of those doctors fill in the gaps in rural hospitals because who the hell wants to go to these red states, these rural hospitals? They fill the gap with international doctors and nurses. So these patients in these rural hospitals, if they have any rural hospitals left after Medicaid funding gets cut, these people are going to face a worsening doctor shortage. The Trump administration $1,000 fee for H-1B visas threatened to worsen a shortage of U.S. doctors and make it harder for rural hospitals to operate, medical groups warned. The American Medical Association president said the fee risked shutting off the pipeline of highly trained physicians that patients depend on, especially in rural and underserved communities. The White House said physicians may be able to avoid the fee as the proclamation allows for potential exemptions, which can include physicians and medical residents. The thing about this administration, they sign all these dumb executive orders before talking to the communities that are impacted. This administration is so dumb with very little foresight. They just want to try to keep harming people, like they want to go after their political enemies or whatnot. But they don't think about all of the other people that are going to be impacted. These people are dumb, and MAGA voted for these dumb people. All right, let's do this, how it started and how it's going. This says, when the golden age turns into a golden shower for this Trump voter. Okay, so this is how it started. This person named Gina is basically showing this. America's comeback starts right now and saying, oh my God, we did it. That was November 9th. We're basically talking about Vinny here. Vinny says, I'm glad you're feeling better. Yes, settlements take time. We did do it. Trump wearing the gold tie and talking about the golden age. We are close to getting to the really good part. Vinny said that November 9th, 2024. Down here at the bottom in May, Vinny says, how about no taxes, sir? It's illegal to begin with. How about some financial help now? We can give illegals money, no question asked, but Americans are struggling and haven't gotten 1 cent of help so far. I voted for you, but I call it as I see it. Taxation is theft. And he was commenting on this one big beautiful bill passing. This one big beautiful bill is screwing so many people, but these people, I bet, will still vote Republican straight up and down the line. And then Republicans are still just going to capitulate to Donald Trump with everything that he wants to do and not try to fix the things that they have broken. Anyways, Vinny again, September 15th says, have they given 1 cent of help to the American people yet? They gave it to illegals. Trump flapped his gums about us getting money, but nothing. I voted for him. But also I watch actions, not words. And I can't say I'm impressed at all. He did get rid of the Rose Garden and put in the club where all of these people can eat fancy meals on the taxpayer money. So that happened. We saw that. That's actions. But for the people, nah. Let's end with Nanette. Back in May of last year, she posted this AI image of Donald Trump saying, you tell him I'm coming and the American people are coming with me. All right, so obviously she is a Trump supporter. And here's Nanette on March 15th. She says, I can't say it enough. Elderly legal immigrants receive our Social Security for 7 years. Just kill me now. I don't know why these people just regurgitate this stuff, but she's talking about legal immigrants. So people that are here legally, are they working? Are they paying into the system? I don't get it, but she is upset. Now here she is talking to Donald Trump. She says, President Trump, I have lost all faith in you. It seems you're out for revenge and have forgotten about the little people. We are suffering while you rage war on the Democrats. Please run the country like you did before, and you keep promising checks. Please stand behind what you say. So she needs a check. She's looking for some socialism. These people really think that they're going to get some money. They're not getting any kind of money. Only the rich and wealthy people and maybe some of the people that grease his palms. But many of these poor people, elderly people, disabled people are about to feel a crunch. The MAGA Republicans that voted for this, they voted to harm their constituents, and they get to pick up and run away like some cowards. And the people that voted for them, I wonder if they're going to hold other Republicans responsible. I doubt it, because they will probably just keep voting against their interests. Have the day that they voted for. Now, I'm about to attach some of the videos that I collected about Disney. Disney is having its face eaten, and it's having its face eaten because they didn't stand up for free speech. This is bigger than Jimmy Kimmel. That's the reason why so many people are flooding the gates. So let's go ahead and just watch all of this and watch how all of this plays out, because the FCC chair has been accused of using the federal government to squash freedom of speech. So I wonder if they're just going to continue that and come down hard and levy all kind of consequences against Disney, ABC, ESPN, and all of that. It's going to be interesting to watch. So go ahead and leave your comments on what you think could be the outcome.
We have some big news right now. The boycott of Disney is growing to the point where Disney Plus stars are literally boycotting the premiere of their own shows in protest. According to the Daily Beast, musicians like Sarah McLachlan and Jewel pulled out of performing at the launch of a new Disney documentary. The documentary at issue is called Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery. And there was a premiere late last night. Disney owns the documentary's distributor, and it was supposed to be premiering on Hulu and Disney Plus. But the red carpet, just hours before it was supposed to happen, was completely axed. A scheduled performance was no longer going to happen because the musicians literally canceled in protest. And according to McLaughlin, she told the Hollywood Reporter, quote, "I know you're expecting a performance tonight, and I'm so grateful to all of you for coming, and I apologize if this is disappointing, but we have collectively decided not to perform, but instead to stand in solidarity in support of free speech." Wow. As always, spread the word. If you canceled your subscription to Disney or Hulu, subscribe to my Substack instead at the link in my bio to support independent journalism. Follow along for more.
News. Disney is on track to losing more than $12 billion, and it all started with a free speech fight. After Jimmy Kimmel was suspended for his remarks about Charlie Kirk and MAGA's twist, millions of Americans canceled their subscriptions, trips, and cruises in protest. The message was clear. People are willing to stand up, even if it costs Disney billions. But now the stakes are even higher. If Disney brings Kimmel back, sources say the White House and its allies could move to block Disney's new deal with the NFL, a deal worth $2 to $3 billion. The FCC has already warned networks to uphold professional standards. Affiliates have pulled his show. And the fear inside Disney is that defying Trump could put their biggest sports contract at risk. So basically, guys, this isn't just about one late night host. It's about whether a company will sacrifice free speech to protect its business interests. It's about a president using pressure to shape media and what that means for everyone watching. My name is Jared Zisser. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, and YouTube for breaking news, updates, commentary, and the full story.
Disney is facing a domestic and international boycott following its caving to Donald Trump's authoritarian attack on comedians and the media in the U.S. My comments of the post I did the other day, it is nonstop people canceling Disney Plus, canceling Disney vacations. And what's particularly interesting is people from around the world are doing it. I read an interesting article in Market Watch that claimed, oh, Disney will be fine because half of their revenues for Disney Plus, their streaming service, come from abroad. And foreigners don't understand U.S. politics. They don't care about people enabling Donald Trump's fascism. Well, what do you know? It seems foreigners do understand what Donald Trump is. They do care about Donald Trump. They do care about America. They do care about authoritarianism. We learned that. The best part was they claimed, well, unlike Elon Musk's Tesla, Disney shouldn't have a problem. Tesla's the exact example. People around the world turned on Elon Musk for doing something as esoteric as cutting USAID, which is a program that a lot of people had not heard of. People know who Disney is. People know who Donald Trump is. Quick recap here. Donald Trump's administration clamped down on Disney and ordered them to fire a comedian. Otherwise, they said they were going to take away the broadcast license of Disney's subsidiaries, the ABC subsidiaries around the country. And Disney caved along with Hulu, ESPN. These are all a family of companies. And people have said, you know what? Enough is enough. Our democracy matters. America matters. Disney, family company, Americana, if they want to put themselves in bed with Donald Trump, so be it. Good luck with that business model going forward.